Hi, everybody. It's Craig from Doc Sports, and it's Doc's Daily Show for Friday, March 21st. Just Griffin and I today. Too much drinking for some of our other compadres, I think, but maybe too much drinking for Griffin as well. But Griffin's a warrior. He's back at it today. And we had a nice little day yesterday. I don't want to brag, but hit the 8-unit game of the year by a half a point. By a half a point. I mean, it all counts. You get paid the exact same, but man, was it a sweat. We'll back at it today. I'll talk about what we have here in a second, but don't forget, let's take care of some housekeeping. Get in that free $60 account. People always say, hey, how can I check you out? It's very simple. Go to docsports.com/free60. Get a $60 free parked into your account to use however you like. It's $30. We'll get you like the college hoops play from any of your experts that you like over there. So it's $30 per day per sport or $99 per week per sport. We still have up the $149 March Madness pass. So you get all the way through the championship game if you just go under the grid and click on college basketball and choose which length of pass you want. Okay, also don't forget, like and subscribe. Got tons of things going on here, including we've covered every college basketball NCAA tournament game so far. We'll have all of them up for the round of 32 and Sweet 16, so make sure you do so. These two guys right here and Nick are going to be in Vegas starting Monday. So we're going to have we're going to be at a studio doing some record. We're going to test out a studio and try to do the live stream from the studio, but it might be at a different time. I do believe put it up in the comment. I think it starts at 2:00, right? Our room. So I think that's 2:00 Vegas time. So it'll be 5:00 Eastern Standard Time, I believe. So to be around that time. So a little bit later for Monday's show. So make sure you set your calendars. Okay, let's get right to it because we're only going to do 15 or 20 minutes. If you're watching the early games, Baylor's up 24-21, 7 minutes to go. Alabama up 5-2, 5 minutes in. So hopefully you're on the right side there. But don't forget to get on the Premium Plus right here. Click the link in the description. $49.99 gets you like it's a 6 plays, so 180 plays a month. So it's $49.99 for a month. You'll get 3 expert plays every day from our Doc Sports guys. Premium. These are just what people pay for, and you'll get the Indian Cowboy included in that Premium Plus as well. Okay. Griffin, how did you go yesterday, and what do we have for today before we kick your free picks off?
So I'm not thrilled with my performance yesterday, Craig, by any means. I went 1-2 in college basketball. I had McNeese State, though. They did win that game outright, so I was happy about that matchup, capitalized on that. But I had Utah State, absolute terrible call. Team shoots 13% from the perimeter. They were 3 for 41 or something. I mean, absolutely atrocious. You're not beating anybody with those type of numbers. That was an absolute terrible game across all cylinders. So I dropped that game as well. And then I went to Kansas. I said, you know what? This is where Kansas is in the fire. This is where it's March Madness. This is where they are going to come out and play their best basketball. Well, I was wrong. And then late second half, I figured, you know what? Hey, we got that 3-point lead. We might end up cashing this ticket. Nope, failed me again. Kansas, you are done. Pack your crap. Go back home. I am done with that team. On NHL, did not have a great day at all. I dropped my 7-unit with Edmonton in an OT final. So across cylinders, not a good day for me. But you know what that means, Craig? Buy low, sell high. We're bouncing back today. We've got a nice 2-play card on the college basketball side of things. I passed an NBA because I have a huge play tomorrow that I have circled up. And then in NHL, I have a 4-unit best bet that goes off at 7 p.m. tonight, Craig.
Okay, let's kick us off. How about let's start in college hoops, and then we'll go to the NBA. We'll finish it in the NBA. What do you like your free play for college hoops?
Yeah, I like this Liberty versus Oregon game. Oregon's laying 6.5 points, and we have a total sitting at 137.5. Oregon went 24-9 during regular season play, 8-2 in their last 10 games, and they just dropped their most recent matchup to Michigan State in a 10-point differential. I see that as a really positive aspect for Oregon. You go from a team like Michigan State to Liberty, that's just a huge plus in strength of schedule in my eyes, Craig. Oregon, they're a pesky team across all cylinders. They're not a dominant force, but they do everything right under head coach Dana Altman. He's been a phenomenal coach. He's done a phenomenal job with this program. Biddle, he has to be absolutely massive from the field in this game, and he has to crash on rebounds at all times. This guy's got to have a very nice night in tonight's matchup. Oregon, they're not a phenomenal rebounding team, so they are going to have to be on target with their shots tonight. Liberty, on the other hand, they're playing phenomenal basketball this season. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games, and they have won 5 straight. But this is by far their toughest matchup of the season, and they're basically getting tossed into a shark tank. They have not played anybody at this talent level whatsoever, remotely even close to say, rolling into this matchup tonight. I think rebounds are what are going to be the key factor in this matchup, and Oregon's the better team when it comes to rebounding. They're faster on the break, they're peskier, they're bigger in the paint. I just think Oregon's got too many edges across all cylinders in this matchup, and Liberty's not going to be deep enough to sustain in this matchup. So, Craig, I'm laying the points here with the Oregon Ducks. I think they're going to throttle right through Liberty tonight.
This is the Life Lessons with Craig Trapp session. Before I get to the free play, don't forget, usually when one day of the first round is not a ton of upsets, which there really weren't. There really were, I would say, 2 upsets basically yesterday. That sometimes that second day can get really crazy. So I always say be careful. Luckily, I hit that game of the year yesterday. Today I have a 7-unit top total of the year. So I'm not. It goes at 4 in that 4-ish Eastern Standard Time time slot. So make sure you get on that. 3 other plays, but go low and slow a little today. If you like favorites, it could be Whitewash City. But I do like that play. I actually have it in a teaser with Marquette as well. I like the teaser plus Marquette. Both of those teams tease it down. I think they both win by 5 to 10 points. So they'll easily cover that teaser if that's the case. But I got a little free play for you in college hoops. I like Memphis here. People are saying because of injuries and stuff, I'm telling you, injuries can just be so overrated. Even like you see in the NBA, LeBron's out the game and they step up and they win games. Luka's out, they step up and win games at times. It's like everybody in a 1 or 2 game segment can step up and play well. And the Mountain West has looked bad.
Terrible.
And the last 3 years, if you take away San Diego State last year to the Final Four, they're terrible. They're under 30% win rate as far as that. So give me Memphis as an underdog plus 1.5. I don't love Penny Hardaway as a game coach, but I do think he's a pretty good motivator, and I think he'll have their guys up. I'm guessing he'll be showing this. Hey, guys, you're the underdog. You believe this? You're the underdog.
I love it, Craig. I'm in full agreement with you on Penny Hardaway. I think he's a solid coach, but I love the sideline motivation. Yeah. The guy is on his boys. Let's roll, let's roll, let's roll. He's like one of them. He's still in college living with these guys, which I love that about him, Craig.
I remember the year that I went to the Final Four was 1992. That was Penny Hardaway's last year in college. Cincinnati and Memphis were in the same conference. I believe that was Conference USA. Might have been not. It was, I forget. But they were always bouncing around, both of them in conferences. Either way, UC was unbelievable. They beat them 4 times that year. They beat them. No, they beat them 5 times, I believe. No, it's 4 times. They beat them in the conference tournament, both times in regular season, and they met in the Elite 8 or the Sweet 16 and won all 4 times. UC ended up going to the Final Four. It was the year that Duke won the back-to-back. The year the Fab Five were the freshmen, so I actually got autographs and pictures with the Fab Five. But we were about 20 rows up, and they were playing before us. We went down. UC lost to the Fab Five. Afterwards, Indiana lost to Duke, and I went down and got pictures with Chris Webber and Jalen Rose. So that tells you how Penny is one of those guys, though, that has done a great job at recruiting. Mm-hmm. And this is a Jimmy's and Joe's league now. Same with the NBA. You can't win without talent, and he's got them some talent. So let's take Memphis. All right, let's go move to the NBA. Yeah. Then we might switch back, depending on time here, because we're just going to go about 15 minutes. What do you like here in the NBA? I know I don't have a premium play in the NBA as well today, and I know you don't. So that means you're getting our top plays in the NBA here. So what do you like, Griff?
Yeah, Craig, I love this Memphis Grizzlies matchup at LA. LA's laying 6.5 points in this matchup. Memphis is not playing good basketball right now. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, and they're coming off an outright loss to Portland in their most recent matchup. The Clippers, on the other hand, they're on a 4-game winning streak, beating Cleveland outright in their most recent matchup on Tuesday. In this matchup, this has massive motivation factors across both cylinders, as both of these teams are in a huge race in the West. Ja Morant, he's listed out for Memphis in this matchup. With Morant in the lineup, Memphis is 2nd in points per game offensively, 1st in pace of play, and 5th from the field. So without Morant, you are taking a huge blow in a critical matchup like this. Memphis, they're all offense, while LA, they're all defense. Los Angeles is 3rd in the NBA across defensive steals, 7th in free throws, which are absolutely critical when the games come down to the wire and you need a team that can hit their free throws. Los Angeles is a team that you can rely on to do that. And across defensive ratings, this team is ranked 4th in the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, defense wins games. I'm going with the home court advantage in this matchup and the better defense. Right now, the Clippers, they're 24-10 at home, better defense. So I'm taking the Clippers in this matchup, Craig, and I'm laying the 6.5 points over the Grizzlies. Well, I believe the public is going to be all over the points tonight with Memphis, looking to snap that bounce back game while the Clippers are on a winning streak. It is kind of a psychological game where you look at it and you have to question yourself a little bit. I think the public's going to be all over the points tonight. I'm flipping the script. Give me the Clippers and lay the wood.
I was thinking first half Clippers too, because these games in the NBA, you see they get these huge leads, and then if you just bet in games this year in the NBA and you wait till a team's down 20, 30, 40 points, and then now you're getting them at like plus 18, plus 15. Yeah. And I mean, almost always they make these ridiculous comebacks. I kind of think you take the Clippers in the first half. I think they get up big. I think it's much safer. Of course, now you only got to lay like minus 3.5, 3, depending on where you're looking at getting in at. So I like the Clippers in the first half as well. But don't forget, I forgot to mention, you can get 10% off. I got a 7-unit play today, or I think Scott Sprites was on an 8-unit. I think there's another maybe.
Nick's got one. Nick's got his 8-unit play of the year.
10% off.
$8,000 run right now in
plus 10. Use this promo code plus 10 to get you 10% off anything on the site. If you want to buy just the single day, or you want to buy the full season, it's plus 10. Get you 10% off. So make sure you use that. I meant to say that earlier. All right, free play. Pistons, Mavs, like they want to get
the hell happened.
Like they want to get into a lot. I mean, at times they're playing with 7 guys. 7 guys, not just on the court, like in the rotation. No, they have 7 guys available to play.
Yeah.
Now they've gotten a few extra, brought up some guys and stuff, but still, like this team is just so injured. The Pistons are only 1.5 games out of the 4th place. Like that means home court. Like that's a big thing if you're a young team. I think the Pistons fight hard in this spot. I like the Pistons minus 8.5. It's right about the edge where I won't take. I just don't like big road favorites. So in that 7 to 9 range, that's about the limit for me. But sometimes you have to make those like extenuating circumstances, and this is one of them when you face a really banged up team. So give me the Pistons minus 8.5. I got one last thing I want to talk about. Go back to college basketball a little bit, Griffin.
Yeah.
Because like we said yesterday, you can somewhat make some assumptions by, like how these conferences did yesterday. Mountain West, terrible day, including, what was it, Tuesday when San Diego State got run over by North Carolina.
Yeah.
So it's been bad. Is this a spot where you stay away from the Mountain West teams, or is it like, hey, screw it, I'm going to jump on, we're just going to fade them and play?
It's always dependent on value, man. If I see values there and the numbers there, I'm never going to fade away from value. So that's a type of question to where I can't give you a straight answer on that. The Mountain West, we're aware it's been a complete shit show, to be truthfully honest with you. But if there's value in a play in a team, I'm going to absolutely capitalize on it, whether I'm taking a side or a total. But when you're looking at games like that, total is always going to be your best play to go because we're aware of these teams and how they are performing right now. But when you can look at a total number against a team that they're going to play against, that's where you can kind of start really getting a grasp on what's that number. Say they're laying a high number, 20 points, and you got a low total. Well, then you know that the books are anticipating that it's going to be a tighter game. So that team is not going to cover that large number of spread. So there's a lot of different confluences and variables of look at, but I'm definitely not a guy who's going to say, no, hands off, I'm off this play. If I see value on a play on a line, I'm taking it, Craig.
I also I try to draw parallels a little bit.
Sure.
Now, Thursday or Friday, I pretty much have all my games already scheduled, like who I like.
Yeah, circled up.
I already have them wrote up, and so that way I don't make rash decisions if I win or lose on Thursday. Same with Friday. But there was the one that I did add, and it's on my card, just so you know. St. Mary's. I liked them before, but then as good as Gonzaga looked, I'm like, this is a St. Mary's team that beat them both of the regular season games. Did lose in the tournament, but that was a pretty close game right up until the end. Yeah. So to me, I like St. Mary's even more because knowing what they could stop that defense, if you can stop that offense of Gonzaga, I don't think you're going to have any trouble stopping. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Vandy today.
Yeah.
I think they'll have no problem stopping Vandy. And I think that the middle to the bottom of the SEC is just not as good as what people gave them credit for. We saw that with Missouri yesterday. I think that's also kind of a parallel. I liked it already. So that's like a double down effect for me as far as taking like what I see on like from a Thursday to the Friday of the games.
Well, I'm in total agreement with you, Craig, because when we watched that Zaga St. Mary's game, Zaga played better basketball than they could have played all season long, and St. Mary's played absolutely atrocious until the second half of that game, and they still kept that within like a 7-point differential. I think it was like a 58-51 final. And then what we just watched Zaga do last night, what they did from the perimeter and how well this team performed under Mark Few, they looked legit. So now St. Mary's rolls into this game just laying 4.5 points against Vanderbilt. I think they're going to throttle the hell out of them in this matchup. I don't think Vandy's defense is going to be able to sustain with this. And I think St. Mary's has a much better defense. And you always hear me talk about defense wins games. Defense wins games. Well, St. Mary's is coming into this matchup with a much better defense than Vanderbilt. So I'm on St. Mary's as this one is a free play as well, Craig, laying the 4.5 points.
I think also you get that Vandy. Vandy was great at home this year. Most of the SEC teams, they weren't great on the road. St. Mary's has been good road or home. It doesn't matter. I mean, they won at Gonzaga, which is a very tough place to play. So, it's not my top play today. My top play is on the total, so make sure you get that. Use that 10% off code, +10 to get that today. And like you said, Nick has an 8-unit. It's in the college basketball, right?
Yep. I want to take that 4 o'clock Eastern time today.
And then Scott has a late game, I believe, 8-unit. And then we have like a bunch of other plays, 7 units like mine. So you can go over to docsports.com. Once you log in, you'll check it on the big play alerts, and then you can get it under the grid. So make sure you get on. All right, guys, if you haven't done so, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you get in on that Premium Plus play, just so you know. I've gone 2-1, I think 4 days in a row, maybe 5. But a 2-in-1 day, again, yesterday, nice profit hit both of the top plays. So make sure you get in on. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you again on Monday. Remember, Monday is going to be later, like 5-ish, might be just a tad later as we get to the studio and get logged in and everything. But it's going to be around 5 o'clock on Monday for Docs Daily. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you again on Monday. Good luck.